Public speaking is one of those subjects that I've always dreaded my entire life, but here I am giving a speech for a public speaking class. So my actual formal public speaking background is pretty limited. When I was going to community college before I joined the Navy, I took a public speaking class. However, after the first day I realized that I would not be able to make it the rest of the class, so I ended up dropping it. And I was very happy about it until I picked school back up after I joined the Navy, and I realized, man, I'm actually going to have to do a speech class eventually, so I ended up taking another public speaking class while I was attending Florida State College at Jacksonville, which was an online class, and I ended up doing pretty well in it, I think. So that was my first actual real public speaking class I finished. I have a more traditional background when it comes to public speaking. Just being in the military, we have to give a lot of speeches to our peers and our leadership, so most of my actual real life public speaking experience comes from that traditional background of actually getting up in front of a group of people and presenting something. But I also have a decent amount of 21st century experience due to me taking the public speaking class online when I was in Florida, because all the speeches there were delivered through recordings and then uploading to YouTube or whatever other means. As far as preparing for a speech goes, I most of the time find that I just wing the actual presentation. Most of the time I spend actually researching the subject and getting everything ready, but for the actual presentation itself, I usually just kind of do a bunch of dry runs and try and get myself comfortable with what I want to say, and then just take a couple shots, and whichever one comes out best is the one I go with. That's about it. And usually I'll make some brief notes for myself, kind of like what I have here, just a small outline. That way if I get too off track, I can always come back and see what I'm actually supposed to be talking about. The next thing is anxiety, which I definitely have a major fear of public speaking, as most people do in this world. Ever since I was a little kid, just being called on in class was usually the most nerve-wracking thing of being in school. And now, I mean, I've gotten a little bit better. I have to do a lot more public speaking, so it's gotten better, but it's still one of those things that I definitely get extremely nervous for. Even just right now, being filmed by one person is pretty nerve-wracking for me. As far as public speaking enhancing my career, I definitely think it's something that will benefit me to be better at. Like I said, we have to do a lot of public speaking in the military, and just being more comfortable with giving speeches will ultimately lead me to be more confident and look better for my leadership, which will obviously do better things for my career. And also, I plan on getting into engineering when I get out of the military, and one of the main things with engineering is being able to present ideas that you have to a panel, and if you're not comfortable with public speaking, it's just going to be downhill from there. So that's about wraps up what I have for my public speaking career, and I hope you learned a decent amount. Thank you.